How you doing? This is Ken Batdorf, Norte Vista High School. Big game tonight. It's going to be kind of an emotional game for me and several other people. For 30 years, I've had Ron Main over my shoulder as an assistant coach or as an athletic director. And it's going to be tough for me because we lost him last week. We are doing several things to tribute him, and one's going to be we're starting something called Main's Corner. It's going to be this part of our end zone over there. We're just starting to set up now, and we're going to have 50 people. We'll have kind of end zone seating where they'll be able to walk around a little bit over here on the side as well, and hopefully they'll enjoy the game. But the idea is to remember Coach Main, and it's going to be a tough night for us. Hopefully we come out and play good football and not get too caught up in the emotion. We have a pretty good football team, but we got to remember at the end of the day, when you lose a friend, it's pretty emotional, and we're playing just a game. For all the people out there that supported Coach Main, thank you so much. Our celebration of life will be on September 7th at 10 a.m. in the gym here. If you have any questions, always feel free to reach out to me. Take care.
Ron Main, who Ken Batdorf was just talking about, a very revered and athletic director at Norte Vista for years and years, universally admired for his down-to-earth personality and his love for all the people in his life and all the folks here on Riverside TV. He was a mentor, a leader, most importantly, a friend who touched so many. Ron passed away on August 12th after a long illness and diabetes. He was 59. Nick Rice, J.R. Ibarra, we're here at Zach Erb Stadium. Ken Batdorf talked about Ron Main, and him being such an incredible friend to him was the biggest narrative of Ron Main that he had.
Yeah, we were talking to Coach before the game, and he said they literally grew up together. They both essentially were hired at the same time here at Novi, so they started in their mid to late 20s, and here 30 years later, they were still together within the athletic department. And unfortunately, a very emotional night as they mourn the loss of Ron Main, a very good man who did so much here on the campus of Norte Vista High School.
Yeah, incredible community with the Braves, but Ron Main was Ken Batdorf, one of his very, very close friends. In fact, he was even there for the birth of his own daughter. Ron Main was, and
also best man at his wedding. So it's like these guys were like a brotherhood, not necessarily like co-workers and friends, but they went far beyond that on and off the field. So there is some heavy hearts going on, but I know he's trying to play in his memory tonight on this all-new field. Nick, look at this.
That's right.
This is really spectacular to see a brand-new field, brand-new track here at Norte Vista. This was one of the long-lasting places here in Riverside that still had natural turf. But now it's great.
Yeah, beautiful. And, the freshman and JV team kind of got their feet wet on this field earlier this week, and they had nothing but positive reviews. And just like a lot of the renovations, it's years in the making, but, certainly overdue, considering the dirt track, considering, the grass getting kind of picked and prodded. Incredible to see this stadium now renovated and fully built.
Yeah, no, it's great to see. I know the players are excited, coaches are excited, and I'm sure our opponents here with Silverado are just as excited to be on such a nicely groomed field to christen it here for varsity football.
Absolutely. Welcome back. Another season of Riverside TV football. Again, I'm Nick Rice. That is J.R. Ibarra. Dressed in the white tops, the Silverado Hawks out of Victorville. And the Braves of Novi, Norte Vista, on the heels of another playoff berth and a River Valley League title. They're dressed up in the black with the red numerals tonight for game one of the year, Norte Vista and Silverado.
Interesting that Norte Vista wins the toss. They defer, so they'll get it in the second half. So it looks like the Braves are going to be challenged defensively right out of the gate here.
Abraham Saldana, the kickoff man. We are underway. The 2024 campaign begins. The Hawks return from Brent Hubbard, who gets a block of the 25 and is tracked down to the 34-yard line. A good return. Fabian Ruvalcaba with the tackle. Well, that defense, inexperienced for Norte Vista, will get their first challenge right away with the deferral that you mentioned, JR. And they face an experienced offensive Silverado led by the heart and soul of this football team, their quarterback, Jace Weiss.
Yeah, Weiss is quite the stature at 6'3", 180 pounds. Head coach Kieran Jones mentioned to us before the game that he's liable to do a lot of running here, so you got to keep an eye on this kid. He can throw the ball, and he's a double threat in running it as well.
Yeah, he was their leading rusher, in fact, last year over Dallas Kincherlow. And Weiss will hand to begin the game. First carry of his career, and it's in the opener, and a quick welcome to the city of Riverside for Almarion Bailey, number 14.
I tell you what, that was a quick hello for really kind of 0 yards from what I can see.
By committee, Silverado had a stable of running backs last year, led by Dallas Kincherlow, who was really played out of necessity due to so many players graduating from the 2022 campaign. Bailey gets the nod as their lead running back tonight. Off the pistol, here's the toss, and Bailey didn't get much assistance from his offensive line. Buried by Costello at about the line of scrimmage.
Looks like that'll be a loss of 1. So defensively, I know it was a little bit of concern here for Ken Batdorf. I know when we were talking to him before the game, and they have risen to the occasion so far with a 3rd down.
A 3rd down and 11 on Silverado's opening drive. They keep it on the ground, this time on a jet sweep, and
Wow.
Notre Vista was all over it. Jamari Tharp got buried by a couple of Braves defenders who got in there right away, led by the Braves Saldana. 3 and out, and it was interesting that they ran the ball on every play.
Yeah, you would think that a high-level quarterback like that would be called upon to throw on a 3rd down scenario, but I guess they were just trying to test the waters running-wise and come up short with a huge loss.
They listed as an 8-yard loss.
Wow.
And it brings in the Hawks' Jaden Pauling, one of the best punters in the area, checks in 33 yards of punt last year with a long JR of 73. Those are collegiate and even NFL numbers with that type of long. Pauling this time ironically shanked it out of bounds at about the 45.
Wow, this is going to be tremendous field position here for the Braves to start off and get things rolling. I know Ken Batdorf, he definitely wants to get things clicking right out of the gate.
And this is where Notre Vista brings in their wealth of experience from their championship season of a year ago. Seth Ballender is in his 2nd year as a full-time starter, in his 4th year with the program, a senior quarterback, 6'2", 200 pounds. He is the league's #1 completion percentage passer of a year ago at 63%, 1,281 yards, 13 touchdowns, and 3 picks. Marvelous numbers for the veteran QB. 1st and 10, opening drive of the season for Notre Vista against the Hawks of Silverado. Early movement up front. That may be on the defense. Trey Shaw, number 10.
Yeah, looks like it'll go against Silverado, so just like that, plus yardage for the Braves.
Notre Vista brings back all but just 2 and in some counts 3 offensive starters from last year. Basically the same offensive line, their quarterback returns, and their dynamic dual threat, #1, Dreddy Elaine. He will be certainly one to watch in tonight's game. Elaine on the toss. His first run of the season looks a lot like many runs from last year. A 5-yard dance to the 34-yard line.
Elaine is definitely the threat. You know, we were talking to Ken Batdorf earlier in the week, and he said that Elaine has picked up some weight, picked up some size, and has picked up speed as well. So he is going to be one of those threats that'll have to be contended with all season long.
Dreddy Elaine splitting carries with guys like Tajon Henderson and others last year, averaged a sizzling 7.3 yards per carry and had 21 rushing touchdowns to Dreddy Elaine last year. Certainly the colleges all across the country need to take an eye on #1 for Notre Vista. He cuts it back on just his 2nd run of the season and is run out of bounds inside the 20. Marvelous running from Elaine. Brent Hubbard the one to push him out.
Another consecutive 1st down here for the Braves. We'll take another look at this one.
Led by Elaine and Henderson, this was one of the most dangerous rushing attacks in the country last year. 290 yards per game on over 8 yards a run. At any time a Brave running back toted the ball last season, some magical things happen in this offense, as we saw right there. A wing T, triple option formation here. A lane off the motion. They'll fake it to him and go to the ground. Here's Henderson, who spins to the 10-yard line. Not Tajon, that is number 8, Jaden Henderson, his brother.
Another Henderson brother they have to contend with here for the Braves of Norte Vista.
And apparently not just Tajon, who graduated last year and is on to college ball. Jaden Henderson now, a junior running back for them. But there's another Henderson who's playing on the freshman team as well. Second and 3. And this time Silverado snuffed that one out immediately. Demaria Ho with the inside stop of Isaac Costello. Norte Vista last season, 9-2 overall, won every River Valley League game, most of those in blowout fashion. We were together for that Arlington game in which they jumped out 35-0, scoring on their first 5 drives of the game. When the offense gets rolling, even last year, without the experience returning like this season, this offense is so tough to beat.
The offensive line has been the key for the Braves really throughout the past several years, and Ken Batdorf said this might be one of his best ever here for this season.
4 of 5 returning. Isaac Costello, 1 rushing touchdown. That was all last year. We expect many more for him this season.
Wow.
As on just his 2nd carry of the year, Costello is in the end zone.
Very impressive on the run. Again, the big beefy front line makes all the difference. You'll see it's just kind of your typical Norte Vista right up the gut handoff to Costello. Takes on a few contenders in the process, but for the most part, a nice sizable hole opens up for the first score of the night.
Well, Norte Vista has dealt with injuries on special teams. In fact, their snapper hurt his hand off of their scrimmage last week. So Norte Vista, we expect, will go for 2 a majority of the night. And here is the offense after the Costello touchdown. Alain's the running back. They'll toss it to Henderson out of the backfield, and he is stuffed. Norte Vista scores 6 on that drive. Jamari Tharp, number 5, with the stop.
We've got some extracurricular activities going on just to the sidelines here, and somebody's going to get a penalty. Might go against Silverado.
Yeah, Tharp certainly with a little extra contact. Here's a look at that tackle. Yeah, that last bit may have not been all that necessary.
There was some actually off camera you couldn't see from that angle, but there was another little bit of fracas going on between Brent Hubbard from Silverado, another one of the Braves as well. So let's see who that will get assessed against here in this kickoff.
Steve Pollard is our lead referee. Michael Garcia umpiring. Tim Burrows, headlinesman. Pat Hoffley and Leonta Scott are the judges tonight. Well, from the looks of it, they may have waived that penalty. Same kickoff spot as usual for Saldana, as last one reached about the 10-yard line for Silverado, maybe the 15. It's a beautiful night, 77 degrees, but we do have brisk wind coming in from right to left of Saldana's approach. 21-mile-per-hour gusts, in fact, heading to the left, and that does drift the ball to the 12. On a hop for Jamari Tharp, his 2nd return, and this one much better than the first. In fact, he had just 1 to beat down to the 47-yard line. Aiden Macias saved the touchdown.
Great run back here by Tharp to get some great field position here for the Hawks to see if they can generate anything in their 2nd scrimmage here for the evening.
This is a Week 0 preseason matchup, Silverado and Norte Vista. The Braves 9-2 overall this last year. Silverado enjoyed a brilliant 8-3 campaign and another playoff trip in 2022, but due to a devastating amount of losses for this team going into last year, the club went 0-10 in one of the most strange seasons we've seen for a high school program. This blue blood out of the Valley to go 0-10 was strange, to say the least.
You can see kind of the running threat there by Jace Weiss. He picks up a couple. He was looking downfield. Nobody to toss. He just kind of wisely tucks it in and goes for the gainer.
Jace Weiss, over 3 yards a run last year at quarterback. He also threw for 1,413 yards, 11 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions. Bailey in the backfield, and he releases to his left a quick screen to Jamari Tharp, who had the brilliant return, and here he goes for Silverado's opening first down of the ball game to the 38-yard line.
Nice throw, nice catch as well.
A 13-yard listed catch and run for Jamari Tharp, who last year had just 12 receptions and 2 touchdowns. Senior at 6 foot, 170 pounds, a good piece of running after his first catch of the drive.
You see Torian Thompson there, 6'2", only 360 pounds.
That's all.
He's been to in and out a couple times.
A 2-yard gut run from Bailey, and that was your initial thought, JR, about the size of this football team.
Yeah, when I got off the vehicle here, I took a look around. It's like, wow, these kids are pretty sizable, so they can bring some beef along with them for sure.
I'd say 360 is not half bad to bolster that offensive line. He's playing right guard, number 60, Torian Thompson. A deep shot into traffic, and Saldana was draping Tharp on that fly route for the Silverado Hawks. No flag down. Terrific job from Saldana.
Yeah, great defending there on the fly play. It could have been a touchdown if he had dropped it maybe a little bit further. We'll see about a second opportunity to take a look. Yeah, pretty clean there. I don't see anything wrong with that.
Saldana, his second year at starting assignment of that cornerback position for Notre Vista. A 5'9" junior corner at 165 pounds. Manning the outside with Julius House, the other edge for Notre Vista to begin the year. And that was part of the concern, the defense, especially on the edges for Ken Battendorf going into the year. How would they respond to their first real live action in high school ball? Pressure, and Isaac Costello didn't waste much time at all. After a 3-sack season of a year ago, he wraps up the quarterback for a loss of 2, maybe 3.
Yeah, Weiss was looking, and just could not find anybody down the field. So you got to give credit to the secondary for just keeping things at bay, and now they're faced with a 4th down and long here.
And they're going to go for it. They call Isaac Costello 2K. I wonder if that's the amount of sacks they expect out of him this year. I anticipate maybe not 2,000 sacks, but quite a bit more than last year with Costello. Much improved. He certainly worked in the offseason to become one of the best pass rushers in the league. Here's Weiss on a 4th down and 11. He's going to show off his arm, and that pass is a bit too long for his intended target, Jaden Pauling. That is a turnover on down.
That'll be a decent field position here for the Braves, starting at about their own 39, 38-yard line. So just like that, the Hawks give up on downs, and now the Braves will have another opportunity to get things moving here.
Head coach Ken Battendorf on Notre Vista. Meanwhile, there's a look at the bottom right of your screen calling plays. Kieron Jones in his 6 years head coach of Silverado. Of course, the dramatic 0-10 campaign of last year, and we'll certainly throughout the night talk exactly how dramatic it was. But overall, 23 wins in 5 years going into this season. Spent 7 seasons prior as a defensive coordinator for the program. Plenty of experience, and he has seen it all for Silverado. A quick run here, and off the toss, Elaine gains a couple. Dallas Kincherlow makes the tackle. Now that was Henderson, rather. Jaden Henderson, number 8. Second down and 8. Dreddy Elaine on the toss. And Silverado does a terrific job defensively. That has really been an impressive, the interior of that defensive line has been an impressive statement in this first quarter. They've really held their own tonight.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, both lines have been really holding their own defensively here, and it's really making a mark in this first quarter play.
The Hawks defensive line led in the middle by number 10, Trey Shaw, and number 66, Moises Figueroa. You can see them right there, and they bring in Teron Thompson, part of a 3-man interior line for Silverado on 3rd and 7, anticipating run. Bolender with his first keep of the game, and he may have gotten the first down on forward progress. He was dragged down to the 49-yard line, and it appears certainly, and they do signal it, first down, Notre Vista.
Yeah, nice twist there by Bolender to get that extra yard in order to pick up the first. Bolander very athletic. I know in talking to head coach Ken Batdorf, he was mentioning that, some colleges kind of giving him a look, but he may go the JUCO route to try to keep things going in his career.
Certainly not a bad route to go the JUCO route. Tayshawn Henderson, the star player for this program last year, is now playing his college ball at Chaffey with the Panthers. A 9-yard run. Number 9, Akil White, one of the first there, as Jiden Henderson rips off another strong run. He certainly doesn't look like a guy in his first full year as one of the lead tote getters for this offense. Jiden Henderson, a junior at 5'9", 155. A strong first quarter for this offense.
Yeah, Henderson is already racking up some yardage here on his third carry of the night.
Notre Vista in enemy territory for the second time in this first quarter. The Braves scored on a short 34-yard, 3-minute touchdown drive. The 2-point conversion attempts was no good. Isaac Costello was the first scorer of the season for the Braves. Nick Rice, J.R. Ibarra. A bit of a brisk and blustery night here from Notre Vista. Bolander's first drop of the season, and that is off the hands of his intended receiver, number 88.
Ryan Rodriguez. To tie it in. He is a big kid. And Ken Batdorf was telling us earlier this week that he has probably the best hands on the squad here.
Now, did he say that?
Now, he did say that, but of course didn't quite prove us right here.
He did also, he was almost blushing at the ability of this kid.
Yeah.
Obviously transitioning from line to the tight end position isn't easy for anybody, but they certainly, with that size, have to feel pretty encouraged about his ability to do both catch and block for these running backs. Elaine cuts it back and spins to the 38, a 3-yard run and a first down. Thompson, one of the first there, joined by Jaden Jones.
Just enough for the first, but again, credit the Hawks really closing up that gap defensively to keep Elaine from gaining any further yardage there.
Notre Vista with a handful of first downs, Silverado with one in the opening quarter. Now this is the calling card of the Braves. As mentioned, a dominant running attack with an offensive line that is even better. In fact, Ken Batdorf, the head coach, had mentioned to us that this might be, in his 31 years of coaching, the greatest offensive line he has ever had, considering the experience and the size. Costello on the inside of the 30 for nearly the first down, gain of 8.
Nice run by Costello to get close to the first down. We'll be shy by maybe 3.
Number 4, Isaac Costello, 6 foot, 220 pounds. Notre Vista with an embarrassment of riches at running back, though. They certainly, while Costello's an important part, not the only piece, with Dreddy Elaine, and you can see Dave Iosefas checked in at fullback, but also Jiden Henderson. They have plenty of playmakers to run the ball. Elaine squirts through a hole and crawls to about the 25-yard line. Jones yet again, joined by Charlie Green. It takes more than one with the big guys up front. It takes at least 2 to bring down these running backs tonight.
Yeah, they're really churning up the turf here already with 6 first downs in the first quarter.
Number 50, Kevin Rayo. Number 60, Giovanni Velasco. Number 66, David Sanchez on that offensive line, just pushing Silverado back. Marvelous job from the big boys up front. Rodriguez like a 6th offensive lineman off the motion. Elaine to the 20. Charlie Green with another tackle.
Already 6 carries on the night for Elaine.
Also, number 41, Hugo Sosa. Number 59, Joey Corey round out the offensive line for head coach Ken Batdorf. We've reached the end of the opening quarter out of Zach Earp and Notre Vista. 6-0, the Braves over Silverado, and a game filled with rough and tough running the ball and defense. It's one of those backyard brawls between these two clubs, and the Braves lead it by the Costello touchdown.
Well, this is kind of what we expect out of the Braves year in and year out. This is a team that really loves to run the football, although in recent seasons we've seen a little bit more tossing of the ball here out of their offense. But nonetheless, this is all about ball control. I think so far Ken Batdorf has to be very pleased with what he's seen with his front line and the amount of yardage they've been able to churn up with 3 different ball carriers.
Yeah, now part of the reason why Ryan Rodriguez got pushed over to the tight end position is because of the drastic inexperience that Notre Vista has at wide receiver and tight end. Their passing game, they haven't needed it much tonight, but they bring back King Butler, who had 4 catches, and that is it. Every other player on their roster without a single catch last year, so the receivers are very inexperienced.
And obviously we're going to switch up direction here as we hit ourselves into the second quarter of play. Great to have you along with us here on Riverside TV at an all-new field. I love this. Zach Erb Stadium. Long time coming to see this brand new turf, brand new track. In fact, head coach Ken Batdorf said that with the brand new track, he's been running a whole lot more.
Yeah.
He's lost over 30 pounds in the process of doing that.
Incredible stuff. And, you know, it is confirmed he runs Olympic level speeds around these tracks as well. We've seen him. He's really lost the pounds. He's looking incredible out there. Just turned 59 years old last week. A happy belated birthday to Ken Batdorf. Elaine dances in the hole and is billed at about the 17. In fact, Ken Batdorf had told us that the Southern California CIF record of Bruce Rollinson's 34 years as head coach at Mater Dei, one of the longest tenured coaches of a Southern Section program ever. Ken Batdorf said, I'm definitely beating that. There's no question.
Yeah, he's kind of let the cat out of the bag a little bit. He says he's going to give it quite a few more years. It's kind of dependent on, I think his daughter's now a freshman in high school. And I think once she gets to her senior season 4 years down the road, then he'll think about maybe retiring.
Yeah, he said he can't promise anything after that, but that is exciting to see him back at the helm going forward. Bolender gave a block for Elaine, who's over the pylon. Touchdown, Notre Vista.
Nicely done. Great run by Elaine.
Ryan Rodriguez and Isaac Miranda pulling to the right, along with the quarterback, Seth Bolender, number 9. Dreddy Elaine, a 17-yard touchdown burst as we begin the second quarter with more of the run, and Elaine is in the end zone.
Just what we would expect out of Elaine, and once again, because of the kicking game just being a little on the indecisive side, we're going to see another 2-point attempt here by the Braves.
Another jumbo package for Notre Vista. Isaac Costello, who scored the first touchdown of the ball game. He is the deep back, but we've got a flag down. Notre Vista may have jumped early. Nope, that's on the defense.
Wow, second penalty of the night there for the Hawks.
You can tell these are two very well-coached and very mature football teams. The 2 penalties have just been early encroachment from Silverado. Really a well-executed first half from both offenses.
So this will give the Braves just a few more yards here to navigate.
Yeah, the last 2-point try was a Henderson toss, which wound up losing at least 5 on the other end of the field. The wind from left to right for Notre Vista. They'll go with the ground, and it's the fullback who's in. Miranda snuck right through the right guard that time, and the 2-point conversion is successful.
Nicely done.
Nope, my apologies, not Miranda. That is Dave Iasefa, number 3, checked in at fullback on that play. Iasefa in, 14-0 Notre Vista.
Well, if you want to test out a front line, they've done a pretty good job of it tonight. pretty good crowd on hand for tonight here from Zach Erb Stadium.
Absolutely.
On a breezy Friday night, week 0. Yeah, next week is week 1. Doesn't make any sense, does it? But this is week 0 because not every high school plays tonight.
As the time goes on, while I understand the logic of it, as that return went nowhere, it makes less and less sense to me why you would do that. I mean, but it's just me. Week 0 it is nonetheless. These teams had a scrimmage in week -1, apparently, for the CIF last Friday. Whatever.
Whatever you want to call it.
Notre Vista getting their chops fastened against Servite.
So essentially what that means, Nick, we got 8 more weeks of football here, which is kind of nice. Actually, more than 8 weeks.
Yeah. I'm just going to bank on your math there, I guess. Bailey gains 1, maybe 2 on the play. Number 2 with the tackle, Fabian Ruvalcaba, one of the few returners for this Notre Vista defense.
Boy, Bailey only with 3 yards on 4 carries tonight here for the Hawks.
Yeah, he was given the nod as starting running back. They feel that he is more of the typical down-to-down tailback for this offense. He has been the only tote getter tonight for Silverado. Number 14, Amarian Bailey, 5'10", 170-pound junior, flanks the quarterback, Jace Weiss, on 2nd down and 9, and finds an open Tharp, his second grab of the ball game, and there he goes. One of the great downfield threats of this football team, with the biggest play of the night for Silverado.
Nicely executed here. His second reception of the night comes up pretty big for a big first down. Going to go up-tempo here.
Beautiful catch and run from Tharp to the 40. First trip into enemy territory on this end of the field for Silverado. A 5-yard stretch for Bailey.
Boy,
Abel Chavez the tackle.
Seems like the wind is kicking up even more. We thought it would die down as the night would go on.
Yeah, 21-mile-per-hour gusts. The wind typically a little strong for the late summer, early fall nights, but this is certainly a pretty gusty night from Zach Erb Stadium in Riverside. Tunnel screen, and he breaks the first tackle. Jaden Pauling, number 1. In fact, Notre Vista on this drive is having a hard time tracking these receivers. Gain of 4.
Looks like it should come up with a first down here.
Here's a look at that catch and run from Pauling, who was their leading receiver last year. 28 catches, 322 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Made the first man miss. He made the second man miss. Some catch and run from Pauling.
Only the 3rd first down of the night here for the Hawks.
Now they did give him forward progress to the 31. 4-yard gain in the first down. Silverado had 1 first down of that first quarter, 2 already on this drive, and they look much more comfortable throwing the ball than the struggles of their run tonight. And it is interesting, with the struggles of Bailey, they brought in number 2, Dallas Kincherlow, to be their lead running back on this drive. Weiss fakes it to him. Pauling juggles but makes the grab and is knocked down to the 22. A big hit from number 50, Kevin Rayo, the 300-pounder. Pauling will feel that on this drive.
Looks like it might be close to another first down here for the Hawks.
Back in your days as a star quarterback and receiver for your high school, J.R. Ibarra, certainly getting hit by 300-pounders was not your favorite activity. A 3rd down, and Kincherlow will not get it.
That'll be just shy, but I would imagine when you're down the field this far, you're going to see them go for this here.
Fourth down and a short 2 to go. And they'll keep the offense out there. They missed their last 4th down, and it was 11 to go. This one much closer. Fourth and 2. Weiss fires to Pauling. Tight window, but he's got it. Pauling to the 10, and he is tripped up just short of the end zone.
Nice execution there by the Hawks to come up with a huge first down toss. Take another look at this one, Nick.
Look at that window. Very close to being knocked down. This is some football player, number 1, Jaden Pauling, and Notre Vista is having a hard time bringing him down. This drive is chewed up over 4 minutes, and Silverado has marched into the red zone for the first time today. A goal to go at about the 2. Bailey the call, and he leaps towards the end zone, but the officials say no, stop to the 1-inch line.
Boy, it's really close. I know the offensive line is saying he made it in.
As a coach, I'm sure you're thrilled by your running back giving up his body to try and find the end zone like that. Whale of an effort from Bailey, who will dot the I here on 2nd down and goal. Thompson, the fullback, trying to push the line over, and he's in for the touchdown. They run the quarterback sneak. Jace Weiss, the veteran, saw the opening and took off and scored. Weiss, 3 rushing touchdowns a year ago, has his first of this season, and Silverado's on the board. A statement drive in response to the long touchdown from Notre Vista. 6:52 remaining in the second quarter, not the first quarter. Second quarter from Zach Earp, 14-6. And it appears Jaden Pauling is going to try the PAT here. Nope, he's going to hold for the PAT. Jeremiah Larios Lamas.
Looks like we got a unsportsmanlike conduct call. That's going against the Braves. So the Braves were their first flag of the night.
Extra point on the way, and it is good. It appears that unsportsmanlike will be tacked on to the kickoff. 2 early touchdown runs for Notre Vista. Isaac Asello from 10, Dreddy Elaine from 17. Lifted Notre Vista in front 14-0. And then Silverado on the road here in Riverside goes on a long 4-minute and 16-second drive, converted a 3rd down, converted a 4th down, and their quarterback, Jace Weiss, scores the first points of the year for Silverado.
Very impressive drive here for the Hawks. This is exactly what they needed to get themselves back into this ball game. So as we are at 6:52 in the second quarter of play, it's pretty good close ball game between these two squads.
On paper, Silverado being 0-10 a year ago, you would look at and think this team doesn't have much of a chance against league champion Notre Vista. But the Hawks have certainly shown that the experience returning, and then the head coach, he's been in this spot before, and they look ready to go tonight.
Well, as we were talking to head coach Karen Jones, he said he had a really tough preseason schedule last year. Started off with Servite for the first game of the season. That's a really tough competitor to start off any kind of football season.
It was the first time in over 2 decades that Silverado missed the postseason last year off of that tough schedule. But they come in certainly poised to return to the playoffs this year. And that kick just gets past the pylon for a touchback, very nearly a illegal kick out of bounds. So Silverado, this is a team familiar with Notre Vista. These clubs met in the 2013 CIF playoffs, the opening round in which Notre Vista won 38-16. The Hawks would return to the playoffs, as mentioned, every year following that. They made it a couple years later, 2016, to the CIF championship game, lost to Oaks Christian. And this team, very experienced and certainly capable of going on a run, has been a tough foe in this first half for Notre Vista. The wind is picked up to begin this drive, blowing from left to right for the offense. 3 receivers out there on first down. They'll go toss in the middle for Elaine, and he is stuffed immediately by Demaria Ho.
Wow, looks like it may not be any gainer at all there for Dreddy.
Yeah, Dreddy Elaine, the running back for Notre Vista. You know that he's a touchdown waiting to happen, but this has to be one of the biggest defensive fronts he has seen. over his years for Nota Vista.
No, it's a sizable defensive line. It's a great matchup from a line standpoint between both these squads.
I'm sure Ken Battendorf knew coming in that I want to play a team like this that's got a big defensive line, a lot of experience, and has really been a formidable foe for them tonight.
Well, what's the
flag is down. Early movement. This may be, yes, it's a false start of the offense.
Wow. It's only second flag of the night for the Braves.
6:54 remaining in the second quarter, 14-7 Nota Vista.
I know it gets breezy out here, but I don't recall it being this consistently breezy. It's pretty interesting how it's really just been very consistent through the night here.
That's a bad hair day for those out there.
Well, some of us don't have to worry about that.
Right. Good luck for Ken Battendorf, as much as we love him. And all the folks down there.
So the Braves get backed up 5 here.
2nd and 14. In the middle of the second quarter, 14-7 Nota Vista. Here comes the big fella. There he goes, Ryan Rodriguez with a gain of 12. And the much smaller 5'10", 160-pound Brent Hubbard. Good work on his part to drag down the big fella.
Man, that took some effort to bring him down, that's for sure.
Make no mistake, Rodriguez, they talked about his hands and talked about his route running, but, at the end of the day, the big fella can move, and we saw it right there.
Well, when you got somebody that big who has some mobility, why not put him to use?
We've got a man down for Silverado after the run from Rodriguez. He was away from the play that appears to be number 5, Jamari Tharp. I'll get an official word in a moment. 5:31 left in the half, 14-7 Nota Vista. While we've got a moment, this was actually a narrative we talked about a lot during last year's playoff run. Ken Battendorf, if there's anyone as an ambassador of the game, it is him, and we talked about it with him. And certainly this was more than just him. I'd felt the same way. The playoff seeding for Nota Vista, they really got the wrong end of that a year ago. This was a team that dominated the River Valley League and was one of the best teams in the area, but they got a very tough draw in the opener at Loyola, lost the game 35-7. Such a disappointing end of the season, and it begs the question, as good as the playoff seeding is for maybe the bottom feeders, the teams towards the top, they really get the wrong end of the stick sometimes with those playoff seedings.
That's what's kind of tough, even though, just to give you a little bit of insight here, even though you have teams competing in the same league, when it gets down to CIF action, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to wind up in the same division when it gets to playoff time. And that was the case here for Nota Vista. As you mentioned, Nick, headed or pushed all the way up to Division 4, and they had a very tough opponent there in that first round, and it just did not go as planned.
Yeah. We had been talking maybe we'll get like a Division 10 out of Nota Vista, Division 12. Them getting the Division 4 draw was real rough.
But also benefit the likes of Ramona. Ramona going to, I believe it was Division 11, that went all the way to win a state title.
And here's the toss. There's Isaac Costello on 3rd and short, much more than the 3 they needed, and a Nota Vista first down.
Nicely done by Costello.
So the college football playoff added their 12 teams now, and you have the 4 automatic bids based on the conference championships, and then the wild cards. There's a lot of way to do the seedings, but right now it is a relatively flawed system, In the end, the teams that should get in the playoffs do. It's just the seeding that may cause some problems for a team that might, play a little bit above their water in the regular season. It's one of those things, the way the playoff seeding goes now, where more often than not, if you dominate the regular season, you are almost in a way penalized over a team that took about half the year to find themselves.
Yeah, that is kind of a strange formula, how they come to the conclusions there at the end of the year. It's a very tough call.
Elaine plunges to about the midfield line. Pauling and Brent Hubbard combined for the tackle. Number 5, Jamari Tharp, who we saw a moment ago, he was a big play receiver for them in the first quarter of the game. Silverado. He is on his feet on the sideline, but being tended to by the trainers. Obviously, his status as their lead defensive back is to be determined. They've brought in number 22, it appears, Devon Roboteau, to take his spot. Indeed, he is out there towards the top right of your screen. Roboteau for Silverado, in for the injured Jamari Tharp.
According to my calculations, 8 first downs for the Braves so far in the first half.
Very impressive. Silverado, to my recollection, has 4. Here goes Dreddy Elaine. A look at his breakneck speed. 21-yard gain, shoved out by White. First down, Notre Vista.
Make that 9 first downs on the first half. Take a look at Dreddy again. This is why he is the threat. Picks and chooses his way, decides to go opposite, and streaks down for the long gainer and a first down.
Well, it certainly makes it easier to play running back when you've got Ryan Rodriguez in front ready to block, and sure did he make a great block in there. Number 88, 6'4", 300 pounds. I certainly feel for the defenders having to contend with Rodriguez and that big offensive line throughout the course of tonight.
He is such an imposing figure. We see him down on the right side of the line there.
You just saw Tharp. He did return. In fact, he did lay a hand on Elaine on the run. Jamari Tharp, number 5, bottom of your screen. For Silverado, he's back in there after the injury he sustained a bit earlier in the drive.
Henderson on the carry.
From Elaine, Henderson, Costello, and Iosefa, good luck for defenses this year trying to slow down this outstanding running game.
Yeah, already 11 carries on the night just for Elaine by himself.
You can see number 5, hands on his hips, Jamari Tharp. That's almost the whole defense. They've got to feel gassed right now contending with this offense, and now they're winning the time of possession battle as Notre Vista. Another long drive with a little over 2 minutes left in the first half. Bolander fakes the toss, and this time Silverado was all over it. Charlie Green, number 19, with the tackle.
Yeah, Bolander was looking to do maybe a fake on the pitch. Decided to keep it, and we'll lose a couple. Actually, a lot more like 4 on the loss.
Number 19, Charlie Green, did not register a single tackle last year. One of the many new defenders for this Kieron Jones-led defense. In fact, Kieron Jones was the defensive coordinator for 7 years before becoming the head coach of Silverado in 2019. So certainly this is his calling card to bring in guys, and certainly the defense looks much improved this year. Silverado last season allowed 32 points per game, giving up just 14 as Notre Vista tries to be the last to touch the football, and with 1:12 remaining in the half, we've got a timeout on the field.
So far, it seems like it's going according to plan, Nick, in terms of what Ken Batdorf was looking to try to accomplish offensively with his offensive line. As he mentioned to us, this is maybe one of his best. And boy, as the weeks continue here, this could pose some really tough challenges for the opponents here for the Braves.
As far as I know, though, as good as they've run the ball, yes, Bolander does not have a completion. So that is the one, I'm sure the one area of concern for Battendorf, do you think?
Yeah, that's probably some I'm sure he wants to talk about in the locker rooms during the halftime to try to come out, maybe throw and toss the football a little bit more in the second half.
Bottom of your screen, number 80, King Butler, the one returning receiver for this offense, and he is a incredible talent considering his size and his speed. 6'3" listed at Max Press, but he is absolutely bigger than that. And, I mean, he's one of those guys, you can just throw up the ball to him and he can make a play.
Yeah, he's definitely one of those guys you want to keep an eye on. He's a target that may be seen some definite time as the season progresses here.
Now, the one trouble for his size is that a 6'3" Jaden Pauling is matched up on him at the corner position. So Silverado is a pretty good matchup considering the size and the strength of this football team running the ball. A lane on the toss, dragged down by number 19, Charlie Green at the 19 of Silverado.
Going to be short of a
And
first
Novi
down.
will, rather Silverado it appears, will stop the clock with 1:03 remaining in the half.
So, interesting again, they did not choose to go into the air, Nick. Decided to keep it on the ground. And it's only a minute, just over a minute to work with here for the Hawks.
Silverado's defense holds serve for the first time tonight. And now Weiss and the Silverado offense will be given 1:03 and a couple timeouts to go 81 yards against this Novi defense. 1st and 10. Here comes Weiss with the bootleg. Looks right and fires downfield. There's number 2 with his first catch of the ball game. Dallas number 5. Nope, that is number 2. My apologies. Dallas Kinchero with the catch and a first down.
Nice execution, picking up about 22 yards on the catch.
Clock is stopped momentarily, and now they'll run it. 50 seconds to go in the second quarter. Ball at the 36-yard line. Off the empty. Weiss looks left. Plenty of time to throw it. Flushed out right and runs out of bounds with 39.6 seconds remaining in the half.
Still got some time to work with it, and as you can see, Weiss can definitely toss that football down the field as long as he can try to get some of his guys open.
They do have a new field goal kicker in Jeremiah Larios Lamas. Daniel Ortega listed kicker as well. We'll see if he gets in there if they reach about maybe the 25 or 30-yard line of Novi. Another bootleg. Weiss looking downfield. And he fires behind his intended target. Incomplete. Intended for number 14, who we do not have a number on. No, Armarian Bailey. So 32 seconds left. Novi's playing 3 deep. Pretty tough to try and fit it in downfield.
It's one of those things I think they may have, enough time maybe to try to get it to the sidelines, pick up a first down, and maybe just toss it as a Hail Mary on the next play after.
Third down and 9 yards to go. Weiss under duress. Launches, and his receiver comes back and tries to make the catch. Dallas Kincherlo. Nonetheless, a 4th down's coming up for this offense. 25.6 to go, and with so little time left, you may as well go for it. No, it looks like they're going to bring in the kicking team.
It looks like they might punt it. So this actually may give an opportunity here for the Braves.
Yeah.
If it's not a good kick, I would imagine that Ken Batdorf would maybe take the opportunity to try to punch one in before the clock expires.
We have seen some timeouts taken from these teams, but we aren't quite sure who. We believe it's 2 apiece for these two. Could be too little time for Notre Vista, but like you said, maybe a big play could help put them into field goal range. Pauling drives it with no return man, and this will milk plenty of clock for Silverado.
Nicely done.
Jaden Pauling, one of the best punters in the area. Another beauty for Silverado. That is a 58-yard punt down at the 6-yard line with 12 seconds remaining. Might be a little too much to ask for them to try and get into field goal range.
That is exactly what you want to ask of a punter, to place it right inside the 10-yard line of your opponent. And just like that, I would imagine the Braves are just going to run the clock out.
Notre Vista scored in their first 2 drives of the game. An Isaac Costello 10-yard goal line plunge, and Dreddy Lane with a 17-yard run early in the second quarter. But Silverado went on the long drive of over 4 minutes, capped by their quarterback, Jace Weiss. Then the defense stopped Notre Vista near the red zone, and we're at a 1-score ball game. Notre Vista, however, does receive to begin the second half.
That'll be interesting, and that kind of shows the wise decision there by Batdorf to come out in the second half and grab that football offensively. So it looks like they're just going to take the knee here to run it out. And just like that, we'll head into halftime. 7-point lead here for the Braves.
It should be noted in a game update on our other Riverside TV game, part of our double header on a Friday night. Ramona leads JW North 27-13 with 2.5 minutes left in the second quarter. The Huskies, one of the great seasons they've had in recent memory, led by their young new head coach. On the heels of that, down in the opener to Ramona. 14-7 here as well. We'll give you stats, stories, and news across this game in the league when we return to the city of Riverside. It is Riverside TV, Nota Vista in front by 7 at the half.
We are a community with shared values. We know our history and embrace our stories. We believe in respect. We believe in equity. We believe in justice and freedom. We are known for the way we celebrate, for how we create, and the ways we relax. We are known for our flavor and our vibe. We have built our reputation with a commitment to leadership in the areas of agriculture, engineering, creativity, economic development, and environmental responsibility. We are known for our incredible architecture, and the murals that grace our city walls. We value education. We value service. We value the self-made. We value each other. We love art. We love innovation. We love Riverside.
Live local. Help support your favorite businesses with the Shop Riverside Community Card. With over 200 Riverside businesses giving exclusive discounts and offers to community cardholders, there's something for everyone. Participating organizations sell these cards for only $15 each, with $10 going straight back to the organization itself, making the Shop Riverside Community Card a fantastic way to support your favorite local group. For more information about the Shop Riverside Community Card and to find participating businesses, please visit shopriversidenow.com. And don't forget to live local. Shop Riverside.
California leads the nation in railroad trespass-related fatalities. In 2021, there were 243 trespass casualties in California. We can all help reduce trespass-related incidents even further if we never trespass on railroad property for any reason. That means no biking or walking near tracks. Railroad property is private property. The only safe place to cross train tracks is at a designated crossing. September is Rail Safety Month. Please do your part. And whenever you see tracks, always think train.
Engine 1 AMR, respond with RPD for a traffic accident with injuries. In 1234 Main Cross of Columbia, 2 vehicles involved.
Each year, the Riverside City Fire Department responds to 40,000 emergency calls.
431. And the men and women of the Riverside Police Department drive Code 3 every day.
We need your help so you know what to do when you see emergency vehicles.
Pull to the right.
Pull to the right.
Pull to the right. So help us help you.
We need you to pull to the right. We are proud of the Riverside Police Department's tradition of integrity, service, and excellence. RPD officers are disciplined, well-trained professionals who always lean forward to make our community safer and more livable. We are always looking for mature, educated men and women who want to apply their courage and judgment to serve the people of Riverside. If that's who you are, we want to talk to you.
The City of Riverside Public Works Department provides high-quality trash and recycling services for our customers. Convenient curbside trash collection services promote a clean and healthy Riverside. To help us provide you with top-quality service, we ask you to follow a few key rules. There are 3 different containers for your trash. The blue bin is for recyclables and should only be used for clean recyclable materials such as aluminum cans, cardboard, glass bottles, plastics, and styrofoam. The old brown bin, or new bin with gray lid, is for standard household trash and items not suitable for the other bins, such as animal waste, cactus, palm fronds, soil products, and other waste. The green barrel is for your grass clippings, leaves, weeds, and other plant materials, excluding palm fronds, cactus, and yucca. And please remember not to use any of the containers for heavy construction waste such as concrete. For a complete guide to sorting your trash, please visit riversideca.gov/publicworks.
California leads the nation in railroad trespass-related fatalities. In 2021, there were 243 trespass casualties in California. Trespassing is one of the most challenging safety issues plaguing California's railroad corridors. In Riverside County alone, there were 19 trespass-related casualties last year. But the positive news is those numbers have dropped over the years because of the efforts of California Operation Lifesaver and partnering agencies like RCTC and Metrolink. We can all help reduce trespass-related incidents even further if we never trespass on railroad property for any reason. That means no biking or walking near tracks. Railroad property is private property. The only safe place to cross train tracks is at a designated crossing. September is Rail Safety Month, so please do your part. And whenever you see tracks, always think train. And stay off, stay away, stay safe.
We all need to eat, but do you know where our food actually comes from? If you're like most of us, our food starts its life in a land far away, where it's picked and packed before its prime and ripens during transit rather than on the vine. From the fields to packaging facilities to ships to trucks, even airplanes, to local distribution facilities, it's a tiring journey before it ever reaches our neighborhood store. Locally grown foods, however, are harvested at the peak of ripeness and can arrive in the store or restaurant within 24 hours, retaining much more of its flavor and nutrition. So why else buy local? Buying local supports farmers and businesses. It creates jobs and raises the community's income. This Grow Riverside initiative has a long-term impact to create a higher quality of life by increasing access to nutritious food and creating local jobs and businesses that help generate sales tax revenue to support vital services such as police, fire, and our local parks. So go out and shop local, eat local, support our community while enjoying fresher, more delicious, and nutritious food. Find out more about the exciting local food movement, where community members, leaders of the local food movement, local government, and local growers come together to discuss the exciting future of sustainable local agriculture.
I get to see little girls come in and say, like, I'm gonna build a bridge, I'm gonna play with electricity, I'm gonna build a catapult, and it's so much fun to see them light up and to see that they know that they can now do this.
Kay Yang is a local entrepreneur and engineer who has had a passion for tinkering since childhood. Memories of tinkering with her dad in the garage inspired her to start her own business focused on reimagining the way engineering is taught and making STEM engaging, particularly for young girls. Her business, Tinker the Robot, provides building kits that include everything necessary to create stimulating STEM projects. Kay recently completed a series of STEM workshops in partnership with the Riverside Public Library with the goal of sparking students' innovation and making science fun and engaging.
In the library it's great because they come in with the family, they discuss, they build, they learn, they connect, they create moments, and then they can take it home and continue those moments at home. So that's really what this is all about, helping foster self-confidence and get kids to really understand, like, they could build this, they can solve the problems of tomorrow.
There has been a very positive response from the community to these programs.
I really think that they've enjoyed it. I've had a few families that ask where I'm going to be next, and then they'll follow me to the next library just so that they can see what the next project is going to be and keep the learning going. And the staff here at the library seems to enjoy it as well. They all been very welcoming, and so yeah, I think the public generally likes it, and I think they want to see more.
For anyone with a hunger for more STEM activities, Kay offers a variety of free options as well as complete activity kits through her website.
If you guys are interested in doing any of this at home, a lot of our materials are materials you could buy at Target or Hobby Lobby or buy on Amazon. And so check out our website. You'll have to give us your email, but then we have free PDFs that you can download and do programs like this at home. We want to make sure that science and engineering is accessible and fun.
To find out more about Kay and Tinker the Robot, visit her website at tinkertherobot.com. And to see what other fun activities there are at the Riverside Public Library, visit us at riversideca.gov/library. The City of Riverside Public Works Department provides high-quality trash and recycling services for our customers. Convenient curbside trash collection services promote a clean and healthy Riverside. To help us provide you with top-quality service, we ask you to follow a few key rules. When placing your trash containers for pickup, please observe the following. Place each container with at least 3 feet separation from each other and at least 6 feet from obstructions such as parked cars, fire hydrants, mailboxes, and trees. Your bin should be placed at the curb no later than 5:30 a.m. on your collection day with the arrow on the lid pointed toward the street to ensure your bins get emptied. If you are experiencing issues with your trash collection, or perhaps need a replacement for a damaged trash bin, please contact our customer service call center by using the 311 app or website, or by dialing 951-826-5311 to reach one of our customer service representatives. And for more information about trash services, recycling, or bulky items, visit the Public Works website at riversideca.gov/publicworks.
This place, it's called CryoFix Wellness. We're based in Riverside, California. We are a sports recovery and wellness center. We get half athletes or people who are just very active who are looking to recover a lot faster. And then the other half we get is just everyday people who are in chronic pain, chronic inflammation, people who work a lot of hours, who are on their feet all day, that are just looking for more natural ways to help maintain pain relief and help decrease inflammation. Some of the therapies that we offer are whole body cryotherapy, localized cryotherapy, cryofacials, Normatec compression, Theragun therapy, Graston technique, active release therapy, assisted stretching, and cupping. Our most popular therapy is whole body cryotherapy. Essentially, it's cold therapy. I would say for whole body cryotherapy, it's actually a lot easier than a regular ice bath. What it does is it cools the skin really fast, so it helps constrict the veins, which helps flush out toxins that get stuck in the muscles and in the joints, as well as helps fortify the bloodstream, which helps your body heal a lot faster than it would on its own. Riverside, I've been here my whole life, born and raised. It's been really great to just kind of help out my hometown in alternative, natural ways. Probably the best thing about owning this business is seeing someone come in pain and walking out feeling better. Just the other day, we had a high school girl. She came in, could barely walk. She did 2 treatments of the localized cryotherapy, and she came back telling me that she was able to play her game on Saturday. And just seeing that all the time makes me feel really good knowing that I'm providing a service that helps out my community.
The Riverside Libraries have new hours and are now open on Sundays. Now you'll have more time to explore, study, and learn about the things that matter to you the most. The new hours for Arlington, Arlanza, Marcy, La Sierra, Orange Terrace, Eastside, and Casablanca libraries are Tuesday to Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., while the Downtown Main Library is open Tuesday to Thursday from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. and Friday to Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. To find out more information about the new hours along with events and programs at the library nearest to you, visit riversideca.gov/library.
Welcome back. Nick Rice, Jerry Barra. Zach Earp Stadium for the first night of the high school football regular seasons. Norte Vista in front 14-7. Before kickoff, some quick scores around the league. Patriot at home in front of Rialto 20-6. The early edge for Arlington over Western Christian to the half 14-0. Valley View at home in front of West Valley, an edge of 14-6. Hillcrest on the road, crushing Corona 34-0. Wow. Our other City of Riverside game, Ramona in front of North at the half. A good job from Mashinsky and his club through 2 quarters, up 27-13. And in yesterday's final score in top 25 news, Mater Dei dismantled Centennial 42-25.
Very sizable matchup for the first week of the, actually week 0.
Yeah, they were not playing around. Here goes Dreddy Lane, first return of the half, and it's a good one to the 44-yard line. Nikhil White with the tackle.
Nice field position here for Norte Vista.
Well, Dreddy Lane wasn't good enough on offense. Certainly he made up for some of the doldrums of that second quarter for Norte Vista with a good return. A listed 28-yard run back for Dreddy Lane.
Look at that, picks it up on the hop, too. Actually kind of went by him for a couple of yards. Well, let's see here if the Braves can generate something out of that nice return.
Officials gave him an extra yard. You can see he was tackled to the 44. They give him a favorable yard to the 45. Toss to Elaine after his 29-yard return. He'll couple that with a 4-yard run. Jaden Pauling joining Green with the tackle.
Boy, the way he got pulled down, I thought he was a face mask, but I may have seen it wrong. It looks like we have a player down in the field already here in the first play of the second half.
We saw Jamari Tharp go down for Silverado, but he returned later in the drive. Can't quite get a number. The angle is just right where his number's pointing up. We'll get that to you momentarily. First half numbers, Notre Vista and Silverado, an almost evenly matched football game. Of course, the Hawks the better passing attack. Notre Vista more rushing yards. Total offense, 147 for Notre Vista. 108 yards for Silverado, so just a plus 30 or plus 29 edge in yardage for Notre Vista.
Yeah, much more passing attempts by Silverado. We had virtually nothing going on here for the squad of Notre Vista.
Yeah, Jace Weiss, 7 of 9 with 93 yards in that first half and has a rushing touchdown. A solid start for Weiss. And for Notre Vista, as good as they are, we mentioned it in the first half, their inability to have a consistent passing game. You know, we had talked in the, the lead up to this, Ken Mashinsky, who's now out there attending to the Silverado player. You know, the passing attack, he actually felt very good about their guys going into the year, especially his quarterback.
Yeah, I think there was a lot more thought that there would be a lot more of an air game here for the Braves, but hasn't quite shown up yet. So I think Ken Batdorf's just trying to test things out. Running game has certainly been there in the first half, but passing-wise, nothing has really been generated at all.
Yeah. Last year in the River Valley League, Notre Vista won with a 5-0 league record. Hillcrest finished 2, and Patriot came in at 3. Hillcrest, we just saw in our wow game of the day on the road in Corona, 34-0. They lead Corona at the half. The Trojans, runners up in this division. Who knows? They could be the team that gives this club a run for their money. I'm sorry. What am I saying? They're not in the River Valley League.
There's been a realignment.
Oh, boy.
Yeah,
welcome to 2024.
Unfortunately, they will not be seen here, at least not against the River Valley League.
So it's Patriot, the team that who finished 3rd, that could be the one that gives them a run for their money. Davian Barrera, number 56, is the injured Silverado Hawk. Hillcrest, they're out, I guess. Hillcrest is out, and also Arlington is out.
So it's a different complexion here for the River Valley League. Nonetheless, I'm sure you got to give the nod here to Notre Vista as being one of the leading contenders to win another league title here.
Yeah. Hillcrest has joined the Sun Belt League. Meanwhile, we have Notre Vista. Most likely the number 1 challenge would be Patriot. Of course, it's interesting. Ramona will play host to Notre Vista this year, and that is a Riverside TV game. So potentially we could see if they brought back enough, if Ramona, we'll see how they look this year. If Ramona is much improved, maybe they could give Notre Vista a run for their money. And then the division includes La Sierra, Jurupa Valley, and Rubidoux as the 2 new additions to this conference.
I know on our schedule we're going to spend a lot of time here at Notre Vista.
Sure will. Notre Vista with 5 City of Riverside regular season games. We'll see them next late in September when they play host to the Cougars of Granite Hills. We will host their game against Ramona, will City of Riverside, La Sierra, and Jurupa Valley, their last 2 league games right here on Riverside TV. Notre Vista jumped out to a 14-0 lead just 13 minutes into the game before Silverado turned the momentum around with a long touchdown drive and then strong defense to close the half. 3rd and short, Elaine the call. He squirts through a hole and crawls to about the 42-yard line on 3rd and 3. It's a gain of 6. Taken down by Demaria Ho.
Oh, the first down here for the Braves.
Or maybe Howe is the better pronunciation. Nonetheless, another tackle for him. Number 27, you can see he's calling signals. One of the captains of this football team, Demaria Howe, 6 foot, 225-pound senior in the middle of that defense.
Yeah, pretty sizable kids for both squads here.
Right.
It's a nice, even physical matchup between these two ball clubs.
Elaine the deep back on first down. Elaine on the gut run. One to beat at the 30, and he got a good block too. Chase from behind, slips a tackle, and is dragged down at the 11. It was Nikhil White who did a great job in pursuit of Elaine, who had a curtain call to the end zone, a gain of 30.
Look at the way he picks and chooses his way through the right portion of the field.
That's the thing with this offense. With the big guys up front, you'll see Elaine gain 2, 2, 2, and then all of a sudden 30. It's the speed of the running back and the sheer power of the offensive line that makes for a very incredible offense running the ball in years for Ken Battendorf, and certainly this season. Elaine on the gut run picks up 4, maybe 5 on that play.
Already 16 carries on the night for Elaine.
Elaine with 82 yards in the first half. He's certainly over the century mark now. Elaine ran for 1,258 yards and 21 touchdowns last season, JR.
Extremely productive, and interesting that Ken Battendorf was telling us earlier this week he's even stronger and faster than he was last year.
Somehow.
So it could be quite a long season here for the River Valley League.
He reminds me a lot of a Darren Sproles. You know, he's never going to be the biggest running back in the league, but when you've got that type of offensive line, he almost sneaks behind his offensive line as guys can't really see him. Elaine, plenty of defenders can see him, but he's in the end zone.
He's there.
Touchdown, Notre Vista.
Just the kind of runner you're looking for to make things happen.
Now, is Elaine a little shaken up? He's hobbling back towards the sideline after the Notre Vista touchdown. Here is the 6-yard score from Elaine here.
Picks and chooses his way. Nice blocking up front to come up with another score on the board here.
Some injuries on the by way of the snapper who hurt his hand going into the week, and inexperience from kickers. So tonight, Ken Battendorf and the Braves are running the 2-point conversion throughout the night. Jaden Henderson on the first 2-point try was stuffed for a big loss. Dave Iosefa on the second 2-point attempt plunged it in for a 1-yard score. Elaine the deep back on their third attempt. Bolander off the fake is in trouble and taken down by Kincherlow.
Nice defensive move by Kincherlow. Sniffed that out and squelches the point after.
20-7 with 8:35 to go in the third. That was a 3-minute and 25-second drive coming right out of the locker rooms, JR. They did receive to begin the third, and the offense didn't disappoint. I would have loved, maybe not, maybe I would have felt bad, but I would have certainly been intrigued to see the halftime speech from Ken Battendorf after an anticlimactic second quarter out of that offense.
Still having some issues throwing the football, but who needs that when you're running so well? But, of course, that's very indicative of what we normally see here with Novi.
Yeah, Seth Bolander, their starting quarterback, averaged 11.5 pass attempts per game. So it wasn't as though, even though they were run first, it wasn't as though they were run only. They had plenty of big plays. Bolander threw for 13 touchdowns last season. Saldana sends away a bit of a squib kick. That did touch one of the Hawks and is recovered by the Braves.
Braves got it. Oh, my goodness. That could be a pivotal play here and break things wide open.
And the youngster Jaden Henderson was the one who came away with it.
Watch it. It's not really an intentional squib kick. It's just the kicking game isn't quite strong here for the Braves. And just like that, it definitely goes its 10 yards.
It looked like it might have touched number 15, Sire Foster, but it actually didn't. It just drifted right by him.
Yeah.
A about 30-yard kickoff, and Henderson picks it up.
Boy, look at the Braves right at the 30 here of the Hawks.
Obviously, points on this drive could give them the sort of commanding lead that changes things for Silverado. 8:32 to go in the third. Braves up 20-7. Bolander throws a jump ball to Butler, and that is about a foot away from being a big play for Notre Vista. I think it's okay to bring the cat out of the bag. Ken Battendorf went into the night thinking, I want to run a little bit of trickery tonight.
And
they were thinking
maybe
maybe it'd be on a 4th down, but actually it's the kickoff game where he throws out his bag of tricks.
And it isn't necessarily a bag of tricks. It's just the kicking game is actually not that strong.
Yeah.
So you just kind of rely on that squib because maybe you don't have enough leg to get it down the field.
It does make you wonder. Now, it's no longer a possibility, but back in the day in the NFL, it made you wonder why more teams didn't try that.
Yeah, why not?
I mean, that's just the beginning of JR's bag of tricks. If he was the head coach of this football team, 4th down would be 1st down for that guy.
Absolutely.
Elaine the call, cuts it back again, and takes a tumble to the 20. A burst of 9, maybe 10, and the officials do indicate 1st down.
Wow, very nice carry.
Foster the tackle. Notre Vista comes right out of the locker rooms, a long touchdown drive, capped by a 6-yard run out of Elaine. A onside kick recovery, and now back in the red zone goes Notre Vista. This offense had 9 first downs in the first half and another 4 or 5 here in the second half.
Just eating up some clock time as well.
Henderson in there at running back with Iosefa to block at the fullback position. The small Henderson following his blocks to about the 11. You know, he's not the most dominant size and strength, 5'9", 155, but a whale of an athlete. And on the toss, he picks up near 1st down yardage.
Let's see where the ball gets marked here. I'll be shy by about a yard.
You know, this is where Notre Vista can really dominate a football game. When a defense has spent the majority of the half on the field, you can start to see they're not quite as sharp, maybe not taking quite the same angles they did in the first half. And Notre Vista starting to have much bigger runs against this Hawk defense.
Yeah, the Braves just keep chipping, and all of a sudden it just kind of flows through at one time.
Costello, the fullback, powers his way inside the 10 to about the 5. 6-yard gain and the 3rd 1st down on this drive.
Already 5 carries on the night for Isaac Costello.
It'd be certainly a good way to get the 2024 campaign going with a hat trick out of Dreddy Elaine. Touchdown runs of 17 in the second quarter and of 6 on the last drive here in the third. On 1st and goal from the 5, it's Elaine back in there. He gets the call, dances to the 2, and is dragged down near the goal line. Number 1, Dreddy Elaine to the 1, 2nd and goal. Just ridiculous video game numbers for Dreddy Elaine. Nearly 120 yards per game rushing on the season and 21 touchdowns.
Already 19 carries, so he's once again being that workhorse from a running standpoint here for the Braves.
Sure is. Hugo Sosa checks in as the 2nd tight end, joined Rodriguez from the 1-yard line. Henderson looking for his first touchdown. He's to the 1 and is close to the end zone. The officials say yes.
Yep.
Touchdown, Notre Vista.
Got the momentum. Nicely done.
Here's a look at that Henderson run again. A whale of an effort for the young junior running back, Jaden Henderson. A lot of big bodies down there,
Yeah,
JR, but he was a little bit more determined to find the end zone.
Plenty of beef, and once again, give credit to that big offensive line. We do have one player down here for Silverado. Can't get a number at present.
You know, Silverado came into the day banged up on defense, and we have seen 2 guys go down with injury, and here's number 4, Brent Hubbard, who's shaken up on the play.
Might be just cramping up from what we can see by the trainers looking at him right here, or maybe looking at that left knee.
Nope, my apologies. That's number 9, Nikhil White, not number 4. Still at the half, North and nope, we've begun the third quarter. Same score as the half. Early in the third, Ramona 27, JW North 13. That is a game to watch. In fact, as important as this one is for Norte Vista, for Wrights out of the city of Riverside, that is a big matchup, Ramona and JW North. Opalani Vaipulu, head coach of North, and Ken Mashinsky, head coach of Ramona. 2 experienced coaches, certainly accustomed to the limelight in the city of Riverside. They're playing again to begin this season.
And a very big tip of the hat. I don't think we've mentioned it yet. Just coming back with a state title in hand for Ken Mashinsky. Congrats to his squad from last year. Started off a little slow, but nonetheless, when they got the momentum, man, they plowed their way through the playoffs, getting not only the CIF championship, but a state championship as well.
Yeah, Ramona finished 4th in the River Valley League at just 2-3, but ran off 6 wins in a row to claim the championship.
So once again, a 2-point attempt here by the Braves.
5:20 to go in the third. Toss to Elaine, who throws a jump ball out of the end zone to Butler. A good idea, but Elaine may be a bit too excited. Launches it about a yard or 2 out of the end zone.
Boy, Elaine, to me, had enough of a seam to run it in, but decided to pull up and toss it, and unfortunately it goes way beyond the end zone there for no score.
Yeah, you know, Elaine probably doesn't get all but 2 or 3 attempts in a season to throw the ball.
Right.
So I'm sure he was going to take advantage.
He was a little excited there, you know. Yeah. Let's toss it. Nonetheless, it's a 26-7 lead here with 5:20 remaining in the third. So Silverado needs to get things in gear here in this third quarter of play with time running down.
If you're coach, are you squibbing this again?
Well, you know, the kicking game not being so strong, it's like, yeah, check it out.
I think they may as well do that. Fair catch made by Jordan Osuna, number 11.
I don't mind going to that well often.
Right.
Let's see what happens.
Yes, their kicking game is rough, but Saldana, to begin the game, did at least drive the ball a little farther. But maybe, you know, that's the thing. They've been dealing with injuries in the kicking game. The kickoff game might be an additional issue for Norte Vista this year. You know, we're picking at needles here because that running game is fierce. You don't have to throw the ball. It certainly would help if you have a kicker to go for PATs, but these are issues few and far in between for this coach and this offense.
Yeah, that could eventually come back to bite you later down this season, and especially as you look towards getting in the CIF as well.
And the big test will be in a few weeks at Great Oak, one of the best teams in the Inland Empire. They'll begin the third quarter. Of course, this is the first play of the second half for Silverado, whose offense didn't take the field after the last Novi touchdown. Number 1, Jaden Pauling to the 46. That is the 4th grab of the game for Pauling for 40 yards rather tonight. 26-7, Novi. Inside, Dallas Kincherlow to the 47, maybe 48-yard line. The tackle from Andrew Delgado, number 40.
Might be shy by about a yard here.
It is interesting. Silverado's going with the quick huddle here. And on third down, they'll feed Kincherlow again, but the head of steam, he pounds his way to midfield. That is a tough 2-yard run for the tailback.
Just what they needed, though, to grab that first down.
Gerardo Campos with the head-on collision of number 2 Dallas Kincherlow on that play.
Kincherlow, kind of a small little dude. He's 5'6", 130 pounds, soaking wet.
Yeah, but he isn't afraid to throw his body in anywhere. You could see it. He is certainly one of the quicker scat backs that they have in this offense. They'll fake it to him. Weiss rolling left. The quarterback with one of his first runs of the day, and he's tripped up at the 44-yard line. Costello and company, the tackle on a gain of 6. This is some athlete, Jace Weiss, who was named the heart and soul of this football team last year. That was really what endowed him into this offense, his ability to take the big hit and keep on running. And you can see here he dives ahead of the 42. Little wardrobe malfunction there, losing his pants. Might need a belt.
Well, I remember back in the day, that happened to me as well.
Oh, did it? Back when you were a star high school football player? Oh. Kincherlow, plenty of room to the outside. The edges were the big concern for Ken Battendorf going into the year, and the edges were non-existent on that play.
Oh, the first down pickup here for the Hawks.
In fact, it appears we've nope. For a moment, it appeared that Notre Vista was standing on the sideline waiting for the play. Methodical drive late in the third for Silverado, and this was just what the doctor ordered after the long touchdown from Notre Vista. Weiss, with plenty of room to run, slides to the 33, maybe the 32.
Got to give Weiss some credit. He gets chased out of the pocket, just kind of wisely just tucks it under and gets up a nice gainer here.
Notre Vista switching up their defensive front. You know, I think Jace Weiss may have found something here. The defensive line has had a real tough time slowing the run, especially the quarterback run tonight. Weiss off the drop, this time against the blitz, goes deep and is nearly picked off.
Almost picked, man.
Butler, number 80, had it right in his hands.
Boy, you could see him sniffing that one out. Take another look at this one here, Nick.
Jamari Tharp, the intended target.
Look at that. Right there. Wow.
King Butler searching for his first career interception, nearly had it. And Weiss is taken down. Second sack of the night for this defense. Rodriguez brings him down.
So that time the blocking collapses. Now it's going to be a fourth down scenario here for the Hawks.
Number 11, Abraham Gonzalez, checks in to join that defense. Before then, 1:35 to go in the third. Timeout, Ken Battendorf and Notre Vista.
Yeah, he wants to make sure that his defense knows exactly what to expect here on a fourth down situation, especially when you have a quarterback who's very mobile. He can either run this thing or look downfield for one of his receivers. He's been fairly effective, maybe a little inconsistent in doing that, but nonetheless, you want to keep him in check here with this timeout.
Coming up, Notre Vista, they will visit Arroyo Valley on Friday the 30th. The last time they played the Hawks, Notre Vista won the game 48-0. So I'm sure Ken Battendorf was looking at the schedule thinking, this is the game where I want to test my team and see how good they are. They then play host to Fontana on the 5th. At Great Oak, a big test out of the Inland Empire, that game in Temecula. And then Riverside TV will host the preseason finale when Notre Vista will play the Cougars of Granite Hills.
On the flip side, Silverado will next visit Yucaipa next weekend, and then they'll see Patriot, one of the leagues in the River Valley League contenders here.
Mm-hmm.
Then head over to Santiago and then finish things up in the preseason with Hesperia.
Well, good luck to Silverado out of the city of Victorville. Weiss on a fourth down. Launches, and that is a bit behind his intended target. That has epitomized some of the mistakes out of this offense tonight. Pauling, number 1, and Sire Foster, number 15, both in the area. None of them can make the catch.
Weiss definitely is a playmaker. He's looking, tries to get it downfield on the run and just overthrows his receiver there.
Yeah, tough break.
So turnover on downs here going in favor of the Braves. Not too bad on field position at about the 36-yard line.
Notre Vista began the third quarter with a long touchdown drive capped by Dreddy Elaine, recovered an onside kick, and then Jiden Henderson capped the 30-yard drive with a 1-yard touchdown, 26-7, after the offense of Silverado commits the turnover on downs. Out of the gun, Seth Bolender on 1st and 10. And it's a direct quarterback run for him and a good head of steam to the 45. Wrapped up by Demaria Howe on the gain of 7.
Nice designed run here for Bolender. Just shy of the first down.
4.9 yards per carry and 2 touchdown runs for Seth Bolender last season.
Yeah, he himself is pretty much a dual threat as well. Although passing-wise, only 2 attempts tonight. Let's see if they might open things up here as we get to the latter portion of the second half.
Certainly wouldn't be a bad idea. Juan Vargas and King Butler, the 2 outside receivers. For Seth Bolender on 2nd down, out of the gun for this offense. He looks left, fires to Butler, who makes a tough catch in traffic for the moment.
Ball's loose.
The ball did squirt out of there late. The officials are coming in. Who's got it? It is Notre Vista football.
Yeah, it looks like the Braves will maintain possession here.
That will go down as a 6-yard completion. King Butler did have the ball long enough. And the Braves wind up gaining an extra yard after the fumble.
Boy, talk about throwing in traffic, man. That was a pretty daring throw.
Yeah, good job in the inside by Jamari Tharp to jar the ball out of there.
Once again, very decent field position here for the Braves as time runs out and we hit our way into the fourth quarter.
Notre Vista, this is on the heels of, as we mentioned in the opener, the tragedy of Ron Main and his passing at 59. Certainly we wish nothing but the best for his family and all of the many friends that he touched. And such an indelible friend and a leader of this community, Ron Main, certainly we're devastated by the loss of him at 59.
Absolutely. Thoughts and prayers out to the Main family. And boy, it's really been kind of an emotional evening for both of these squads when you consider the fact of losing Ron Main and then also Silverado just a couple of seasons ago losing one of their key players to a violent situation as well.
Yeah, so Richard Reed was a star running back for Silverado in 2022 and the Desert Sky defending defensive player of the year. He played both ways, a marvelous football player. And following their playoff run before their final playoff game, a win against St. Francis. They enjoyed senior night that night, and then were going in 8-2 into their playoff game against St. Francis. And then tragically, on a Victorville street, Richard Reed was shot in cold blood and killed. And it was a devastating tragedy. This certainly rocked the community along with the football team. And Silverado lost that game in the playoffs, didn't win a single game last year, and certainly the 30 seniors that graduated and the devastating loss of one of their great players and one of their great people as Butler makes the catch.
What a connection, man.
Right. Pauling the tackle. It devastated the team, and they felt that now they have finally been able to recover and move on. It was that is something to have a death of a teammate like that in high school. I mean, I went to high school and was on the football team. I couldn't imagine if one of my good friends and one of the great players on my team passed like that. I just could not imagine.
Especially through a violent, senseless, violent act like that. It does wear on a team for sure on their psyche.
And Silverado, it appears, they hope that this year's the year that they can dedicate to him. And the loss, a wide open King Butler, touchdown Notre Vista.
Wow, you can see Butler and his key factor is his height, his ability to reach up and grab the football.
If they can get some semblance of a passing game like we saw on that drive with Bolender and Butler, the key matchup on that drive, 16 yards for the touchdown here. This Noda Vista offense will be very tough to beat.
Wow, look at the reach on that. You got to give him credit for skying on that one and making the catch, coming up with a touchdown. And
it's hard not to see visions of Calvin Johnson. You know, you just throw it up to a guy that big and that strong, and he's going to come down with it more often than not, as long as you're not Dreddy Elaine throwing the ball out of bounds. You know, this is a guy that seems catch anything.
Another 2-point attempt here by the Braves.
Bolander under duress and taken down. Jamari Tharp with the sack. Now they may want to figure out their 2-point offense or their kicking, because PATs have been one of the downsides for this offense.
Yeah, it hasn't worked in their favor, and you really don't want to go through the season having to be in that type of scenario. So it's definitely one of those things that head coach Ken Batdorf is going to have to work on during the next few weeks here.
This offense 1 for 5 on those 2-pointers, and the one they converted was partly assisted to the penalty on Silverado. They had a 1-yard 2-point conversion.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the things. In spite of the fact that you have a 32-7 lead, there's going to be a whole lot of work to talk about in regards to that.
Yeah. So Ken Batendorf has been around now 31 years. This is statistically the best. The last 6 years, they've won 80% of their games. The best 6-year stretch he's ever had. So, you know, it's amazing. Sometimes you build a culture for a program, but, you know, he's now starting to get some good guys and some great players, and you know, he's figured things out in 31 years. And this team, they were really good a decade ago, 2 decades ago, but now this team is incredible. Going to be real hard to beat in the River Valley League. The return to about the 24-yard line, a marvelous open field stop from Gerardo Campos, number 6, on the Dallas Controlo return.
So in the hole here, Silverado with a big deficit to make up. Let's see what they do offensively, or at least what they attempt to do offensively here on this drive.
There's a look at number 6 on that last tackle, Gerardo Campos. On a hop right in the open field, some play on special teams from Campos. Down 32-7, Jace Weiss off the snap. Throws this one just past the reach of Campos.
Looks like he had a blitz coming in that put the pressure there on Weiss.
Jace Weiss, one of the better quarterbacks in the Desert Sky Conference. That is the league that Silverado plays in. He threw for 1,413 yards and 11 touchdowns last year. Senior at 6'3", 180 pounds. Looks left, dances in the pocket, and that is tipped and somehow off the deflection, reeled into the 30-yard line by Brent Hubbard.
First catch of the night for Hubbard.
Second career catch for him. We've got a Brave down on the field, but he is, Isaac Costello, able to hobble back up to his feet. He'll have to take a play off as the trainers come in to escort him out.
It looks like he's A-okay, but as you said, he's going to have to take a play to get himself back into the action here.
Right. He is one of the key players this season for Ken Batendorf and Noda Vista. Number 4, Isaac Costello, nicknamed 2K. We'll get a word on exactly why he's called 2K.
Yeah, got a flag.
Capable runner. We saw him score the first points of the season for Noda Vista.
Oh, this is going to go against the Braves.
Encroachment. Isaac Costello had a sack earlier tonight, a couple tackles. To take his place, in comes number 92, Joe Chacon at defensive line.
Only the third flag of the night for the Braves, so does give a first down here for the Hawks.
Right. Weiss looking downfield. And that to Pauling is caught but out of bounds. Incomplete. Well, actually, the official signaled incomplete. They give him the ball to the 42. That pass behind Pauling and absolutely incomplete. Third down coming up for Silverado. 9:55 remaining in the game. For those of you just joining us, Silverado, the scoreboard may lie to you a bit. They have gained over 200 yards. Their quarterback has looked very productive tonight. They just can't seem to finish off these drives with points. Their last drive ended on a 4th down. To the outside goes Dallas Kincherlow, and he races to about midfield.
So first down pickup here for the Hawks.
On a gain of 9. Meanwhile, Notre Vista, the main takeaway, and we figured it going into tonight, is that the running game is as advertised, very good, and the defense, albeit inexperienced, they're making big plays in important spots. A 5-yard gain. Henderson shoves out number 1, Jaden Pauling.
Good pickup here by the Hawks.
Kincherlow on the draw in the middle of the defense and is dragged down by a gang of tacklers led by Iosefa and Ruvalcaba inside the 40.
Picking up another first down here. So this drive is definitely getting a few yards here for the Hawks.
Impressive drive from Silverado, down by 25. Early movement on both sides.
Not what they needed on that one.
False start on Dallas Kincherlow.
4 flags on the night here for Silverado.
Weiss tripped up with a 40. Outstanding open field stop by Kevin Rayo, number 50.
Looks like we got one of the Braves kind of slowly getting up here.
There's Rayo dancing on the defense. You think this defense is nervous? Some of them dancing around out there. They might be a little too comfortable right now, committing a couple penalties. That one I didn't see, a 15-yard personal foul.
So got to be a personal foul there someplace.
Right.
Not what they needed at this point of the game.
Productive drive from the Hawks to the 25. Weiss stepping up. He runs to his left, fires into the end zone. A bit too far and incomplete to Tharp.
Well, they're not afraid to throw the football. Already at 18 attempts here for Weiss.
Now, a lot of that on this drive. They did get away with a false start. I saw Jaden Pauling flinch before the snap. But Weiss, for as accurate as he's been tonight, that's just one he'd love to have back.
Looks like somebody might have partially tipped that one, though.
Oh, that may explain it. Weiss, 3rd sack of the night from that defense. Abel Chavez, number 24. First career sack for Abel Chavez. He came right in at that nickel back position and almost read the snap and brings down the quarterback.
So it brings up a crucial 3rd down conversion attempt here.
3rd down and 13. Weiss on the bootleg. Chavez nearly another sack. He fires downfield. A bit too far yet again. Sire Foster the target. Weiss looked very precise, going 7 for 9 in the first half, but has been just a little off his game here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, he's only got, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, looks like 4 out of 10 here.
In the second half.
In the second half of play.
Well, if he's going to make a play, he's got to make it now. Early
flags.
movement on Silverado. 4th
Wow.
and 17 coming
Wow.
up with 7:34 to go in the game.
Man, they did not need that at all.
Yeah, time to bring in the backups for Notre Vista if the defense can stop them here.
Stops the clock at 7:34.
Well, Notre Vista was up just 14-7 at the half, but have scored touchdowns on each of their last 3 drives. The defense puts Weiss under duress immediately. He unloads on the sideline, and that's picked off for the man that dropped the interception earlier. King Butler has the first takeaway of the season for the Novi defense.
Boy, Butler is definitely registering his nomination for maybe the player of the game here.
Yeah, certainly. Well, it looks like Silverado may have gotten away with a hold.
Boy, they did, big time.
But King Butler with a good play. You know, I think that first catch of the fourth quarter really gave Butler some confidence, as in the last 5-10 minutes, Butler has been the player of the game for both sides. He had 3 big catches on the touchdown drive, including the leaping touchdown reception, and then the interception. 7:24 to go in the game. If I were Ken Battendorf, I'd have a short leash for the starters here. And
Yeah.
the backups should get a chance at some point.
Yeah, he did talk to us about that earlier in the week, that he wants to get out to a certain number per game before he starts pulling the starters here.
In fact, actually looks like that is the deal here.
Yeah.
Number 10, quarterback Armando Morales is in their huddle with 7:24 to go in the game. A senior QB, 5'11", 155 pounds. There he is, number 10, Armando Morales, to the field for Novi.
I think a wise decision here by the Braves.
Number 14, Joshua Quintana, is the fullback. Number, I believe that said 32, which they don't have on the roster. Yes, 32 is in. Unknown player. A mystery man.
Another mystery guest.
Yes.
Gives good opportunity, though, for the bench to start getting some experience during game time.
Right. Number 32. Oh, boy. Close to a horse collar on that tackle from Teron Thompson, number 8.
Teron Thompson's a big kid, 6'2", 300 pounds.
Woo!
So it didn't take him a whole lot to wrestle down his
Maybe
his
he's just
opponent.
that strong.
Yeah, I think he is. I mean, when you got that kind of size behind you, that's a pretty hefty kid. Looks like it'll be a loss here of about...
I could be wrong, but Novi did bring in a guy. In fact, I'm probably wrong, but they did bring in a guy on the roster this week that is listed as 35, Albert Barajas, a sophomore. He might be number 32 tonight. Of course, we don't know for sure, so he is the mystery man. He's got a first down for Notre Vista.
Well, I know Batdorf did dress a few of his JV players here tonight, so that's why we're seeing a pretty sizable roster here on this Friday night.
Right. Quick update out of the Riverside TV doubleheader game at North High School. 33-13, Ramona leads with 5.5 minutes to go in that game. So we had talked about, some of these guys, especially Dreddy Elaine and others, should get looks at least at junior college. And, for folks who snuff at the junior college game, I'd like to present you first RCC football, which won a state championship, which we saw here on Riverside TV. RCC, we will see them play Long Beach on the 7th. That is their home opener.
Really good football, folks. If you've never been to a community college game, I mean, it's really like seeing Division I, because a lot of those kids are Division I ready. Just for some reason, they're not able to get to that next level because of academics or some other reason.
Well, they're not just Division I level. quite a few of these guys as that's
that
a
is
fumble.
A live ball. That is a live ball.
And it is recovered by Silverado. A diving Almarion Bailey picked up the ball, and Silverado's got it back.
But credit the Hawks. They purposefully ripped that one out and come up with a rock.
Well, they nearly took away the last fumble from Butler. This is absolutely a fumble, and Bailey's got it. Notre Vista, according to Max Preps, did not have a fumble last year. Now, I'm not saying Max Preps is ever wrong.
Don't say that.
But
Don't say that publicly
does
now.
seem a little impossible that nobody fumbled last year. Nonetheless, first fumble of this year.
Well,
for
first
Novi.
one of the year, though, so we'll put that one in the books.
Yeah, that for sure. So, but anyways, junior college, people snuff at all the time, JR. Oh, junior college ball, you couldn't make it to D1. I'd like to remind you, Aaron Rodgers went to junior college, went to Butte.
There's been plenty of players that come up through the ranks to get into Division I from JUCO.
Right.
And especially here in Southern California. Boy, if you want to see top quality community college, junior college football, it is here in Southern California.
Absolutely. In fact, Aaron Rodgers is one of 5 members of the NFL Hall of Fame. Now, Rodgers isn't in yet, but 5 Hall of Famers went to California junior colleges. Ron Yeri, Joe Perry, John Henry Johnson, and you may remember this guy, Larry Allen, part of the triplets, went to, I believe, College of the Canyons. Let me get a confirmation.
Well, I go way back before you were ever born. You think of Clarence Davis, came out of East Los Angeles College, went on to play for the Oakland Raiders.
That's right.
Spent time, I think, 2 seasons
In
with
fact,
East Los Angeles
actually,
College.
that's right. Larry Allen just passed away a couple weeks ago, June 2nd. Best regards to him and his family. He was a outstanding offensive lineman from Butte College. Went to the same school as Aaron Rodgers. And then Hollywood Brown of the Chiefs also went to junior college.
Nice.
There's Pauling. Gets under it for the touchdown.
Wow, that's just the kind of passing that they had been expecting of themselves. Maybe a little too late here, though. Taking a second look here, Nick.
41-yard touchdown. That's the sort of stuff we were expecting earlier in the day from Jace Weiss. As Pauling on a double move gets right by the defense.
Had to hold up for it, but a nice lay right into his hands, into the end zone.
He is a marvelous receiver. A couple of big catches in the first half, and it was only a matter of time before Pauling, who had 4 touchdown catches last season, would make a big play for this offense. Number 1, Jaden Pauling makes it a 19-point game. They're going to go for 2 here. Those 2-point misses from Notre Vista looming large if they convert. Weiss rolling right, throws in the end zone, drops.
Oh, just misses.
Zaire Foster couldn't hang on, 32-13. Still a 4-possession game. If they converted, it would have been 3.
I'm sure you're likely to see an onside kick here as we'll take another look at this 2-point attempt.
It was a good throw.
The throw was there.
Yeah.
That's just a shame.
So, and the reason why I bring up junior college, too, the legend of Novi, Tajon Henderson, we were talking, oh, man, he's absolutely a college player. He's going to the Chaffee Panthers nearby Los Angeles. And, we certainly wish the best of luck to him, Tajon Henderson, and everybody else who went to junior college from Novi and the city of Riverside.
Well, you have such a fine program here at RCC. Don't have to travel too far out of the area.
That's right, Tajon. Why didn't you go to RCC?
Chaffee's a nice place. It's not too far.
That's right.
It's in my neck of the woods there in Altaloma.
Onside kick recovered. Chaffee College, Rancho Cucamonga. Tom Kraft's brash personality is not for everybody. Okay, I'm not saying that was the reason.
Okay,
but
you said it publicly.
But
Coach Kraft, if you're listening, I didn't say that.
I didn't say that.
But
hey, as an RCC alum, I guess not everybody's built to win state championships.
Coach Kraft has done an unbelievable job
are you kidding
with
me?
the Tigers. Man.
I mean, he's certainly gotten offers to be a head coach at big programs.
Yeah, he could definitely. Well, he was at D1 level there with San Diego State for a short period.
He set the all-time passing record as head coach at San Diego State. First run of the day and a good one from Joshua Quintana. First down.
Wow, nice pickup here by the Braves. Keeps the clock and moves the chains. Well, the Braves have to be certainly happy with the running game tonight.
Oh, yeah. So 147 yards in the first half. My guess is over 300 yards now for the game, Nota Vista. This team averaged 290 per game rushing. Armando Morales. Another toss to Mystery Man, and he is dragged down to the 31. A good forward progress on that play. Demario Howe with the tackle.
Might be just shy. Let's see where the placement goes here. Okay, just shy by a yard here, but good pickup by the Braves.
You know, a lot of these high school programs are still establishing the players that they bring in, you know, and they're having to organize all that with school just beginning a week or two ago. So by about maybe next Friday or the following Friday, we'll know who Mystery Man is. But right now, he's just number 32.
And he'll pick up the first down as well.
You can see how big Silverado is. When Mystery Man gets touched, he's going down, and he's going down hard. Number 8, Teron Thompson, 6'2", 300 pounds in the middle of that defense.
Well, again, give credit here for that front line by the Braves, man.
Yeah.
It's a beefy front line. Even with their second squad here, they're still moving the chains.
Yeah, I am seeing some remnants of the first team in there. Joey Corey from the first team is manning the right tackle position, but in comes Daniel Real at right guard, number 57. And they paved the way for a good run. First down from number 30, Angel Nieves.
Yeah, keeps the clock moving, keeps the chains moving.
In comes another mystery man, number 33, in for Nieves.
So it looks like the Braves are going to wind up getting that first W of the season.
Yeah, Nota Vista. I mean, you know, for a while, Novi and Ramona were trading off River Valley championships. The Rams won their first league title in program history out of the River Valley League 2 years ago. Novi crushed them last season, but you know, it is really hard for me to believe, JR, that this team's not going to win it again.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they're already flexing their muscles. They obviously have to work on the kicking game, do some polishing on the passing game, and things can really get a steam locomotive here as we get towards the end of the season.
Absolutely. So congratulations, Ken Battendorf, and Nota Vista winning this one 32-13. Before the close of this one, we'll give you an update on the Riverside TV doubleheader game. Ramona on their way to a win at North, up 33-19 off of North, or I forget the side street, but they always say something in Chicago.
Yeah, third in Chicago.
Third in Chicago. I knew it was something. The ball's on the ground. Was that incomplete?
Let's see if they'll.
One of the officials did signal incomplete pass.
Yeah, I think his arm was in forward motion.
Back Judge Leonta Scott.
Under a minute. And now the Braves, I think, just going to run that time clock out.
Yeah. Yep, maybe the tuck rule's in play, JR, on that one. Final play of the game, what's JR calling? Is he calling 4 verticals here?
No, I'll just gladly take a knee here and just take it home.
All right.
Congrats to the Braves, though. I mean, it's a good win. Definitely things to polish, though, here. Nope, they're going to run a play.
They'll run it. Here we go. Mystery man to the 15. Dragged down by Hubbard at about the 12.
That'll keep the clock moving, though.
The
He's
Hawks
still in
of
bounds.
Silverado, a tough test for the Novi Braves tonight. My goodness, did they do a good job, especially early. This defense looks formidable. They've got plenty of big guys to help turn around this program for this year. Good luck to Kieron Jones and Silverado the rest of the season. But Notre Vista wins it tonight at home, 32-13. And the Braves, just like last season, with a thumping on opening night, they are 1-0.
Well, again, great on the running game for sure. We saw some of that passing game come alive here in the second half. I think Ken Batdorf definitely wants to work on that and get that better up to speed here earlier in the first half of the game. Defensively, I think the team looks pretty strong as well. And once again, they really have to do something with that kicking game because that can be something that kicks them in the rear end later down the season here.
Dreddy Lane over 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. He'd be my player of the game. I might want to put words in your mouth, JR. I'd say King Butler with a touchdown catch and an interception's yours.
Yeah, I think I would give Butler because defensively and offensively, he definitely flexed the muscles tonight. But nonetheless, what the heck, Dreddy Lane, man, 19 carries on the night. Just a workhorse. He still looks fresh. Man, this is a tough team to contend with here in the 24 season.
We'll see you next week for the City of Riverside for a doubleheader on Friday night. Until then, alongside Jerry Barra and Nick Rice, Notre Vista wins this one on opening night, 32-13. Good night.
Good night, everybody.